Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, the Evening Moose. And before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We have a great show for you guys planned. We have, of course, the Army of Northern Virginia Commander Kevin Stone and the Army of Northern Virginia Councilman Kenny Ramsey on to give an update about everything going on in the Army of Northern Virginia. So it's going to be a great show for us planned. Make sure to share this out. Make sure if you are watching live on Facebook, YouTube, scvchat.com, and Rumble, I almost forgot one of them, to be sharing this stuff out. You can share our stuff at our website just by copying the URL. Let's see here. 1 second, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. I think. Let me try to fix this real quick. I want to shout out Councilman Ramsey as being the only person to know how to use the private chat without me having to explain it to him. This is one of the few ways you can communicate to us if you are a guest on the show. And so I want to just thank Councilman Ramsey for you for using it. All right. Sounds like my sound's okay. I think Councilman Ramsey's having some trouble, but he will be ready to go in a couple minutes. We're going to talk about a bit of camp news and some news around the Confederation, and then I'm going to let my brothers from the Army of Northern Virginia take it over from there. Let's see here. Let me make sure I get up and pull everything up. Didn't even have my banner on yet. Isn't that embarrassing? It's not like I've been doing this for, 3 years now? Can't hear you. All right. Councilman Ramsey's still having some trouble, so let me text him real quick. All right. Just sent him a message. Don't you love technical difficulties? There he goes. All right. He'll rejoin us shortly. All right. First bit of news is going to be regarding the Stephen D. Lee Institute. And I said it right. So Councilman Carl Jones can no longer get on to me. Let me get everything ready. All right. The Stephen D. Lee Institute will be on February 16th through the 17th in Columbia, Tennessee in 2024. The theme is Who Are We as a People and an Organization? The Friday night reception will be held at the National Confederate Museum at Elm Springs. Some of the presenters are Mr. Dan Dorrill, Ben Stuhl, Forrest S. Dawes, Chris Sullivan, Frank Powell, Chief Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, Frank Walsh, and Master of Ceremony, past Commander-in-Chief himself, Chuck McMichael. Register and hotel information will be on the website that is in the chat. Let's see here. All right, making sure there's nothing else. I am getting something of breaking news because the Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief just told me something that I have not had a chance to read today. Mr. David, I'm not the person to ask who is next. While I do pride myself on being able to report on all SCV news I can, that is going to be a question for the Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshears, who will be on next Thursday on Commander's Comments. All right. We're having technical difficulties galore tonight. Now I'm being told we're not live on Facebook, so we're going to give it a testing. 1 second. Let me see if I can spot the problem. While I do that, I'm going to play just one of our pop chart breaks on the show just to give me time to figure out what in the world is happening. So I'll be right back. Let's see which one to play. I'll play this one.
My dad told me he always had a kinship to the battle flag. Always growing up, he knew there was something there, but he couldn't put it together. I called my 97-year-old grandmother, and I asked her, do we have any soldiers in the family? I gave her 3 descriptions. Verde, which means green, for modern-day soldier. Blue, azul, or gris, means gray. And she said, mijo, which means my son in Spanish, is gris. It was gray. My great-great-grandfather was named Andres Torres Rodriguez. He was born in Mexico. He was a laborer. And he was in 8th Texas Infantry, and his unit later on got incorporated to the Texas 33rd Cavalry under Santos Benavides, who was the highest Mexican-American Confederate officer. He was a colonel. There was over 13,000 Hispanic soldiers throughout the Confederate States, but out of those 13,000 were 2,500 Tejanos. And it's 2 words combined. Texas in Spanish is Tejas. Mexican in Spanish, Mexicano. You combine both words, Tejano. They contributed a lot for Southern independence. I think that they deserve respect, honor, and dignity under the Confederate flag that they fought for. There was people of color, Mexican people, and other Hispanics, and other people of color that fought in this war. Everyone's reason was different, but primarily they fought in this war for their independence and to protect their homeland. I joined the SCV because I'm extremely proud of my Confederate heritage. I have Confederate DNA. I just want to ensure that the present generation and future generations know and never forget the contributions of Hispanics in the War of Northern Aggression. I am Richard Luna Garcia, the great-great-grandson of Private Andres Torres Rodriguez, a Tejano Confederate soldier.
All right, guys, it looks like we got everything fixed on Facebook now. I wanted to stop to make sure we have everything right, as well as make sure I get some incoming news right. So I'm glad. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy, for letting me know that. We do have a press release to talk about real quick, and I will cover it really quickly. I'm sure the Commander-in-Chief will talk about it a lot more in detail next week. Let me make sure I have everything ready. All right. So, and I'm going to be reading this, so bear with me. We all know my reading skills sometimes aren't the best. But this is, of course, coming from the Telegraph. Oh, victory, how sweet the sound. We're in a fight for the soul of our nation, and we have played a key role in a grand victory in the House of Representatives today. We are pleased to announce that the House has passed the it was going to happen at some point. I'm glad it happened early on. The CEDAW amendments number 174 and 238 to the National Defense Authorization Act 2024. You press the attacks by sending over. Now, this is how big of a difference we've made. We went from just having, I think, 3,000, maybe 2,000 people, if that, on some of them, send in letters, to over 6,000 to Congress through one-click politics. You must celebrate this moment, but tonight, through October 1st, we humbly ask that you continue the fight. The Sons of Confederate Veterans is proud of its members, and we need you to push now. We need you for one more push, a push that will keep our monuments as we go into the Senate with the NDAA FY 2024. If we can maintain the there we go. My eyes are getting to me now. See here. If we can maintain the integrity of the legislation and the Cedar amendments, Congress will defend the unfinished work, or no, sorry, Congress will have defeated the unfinished work of the naming commission. Celebrate your victories, boys, but then be ready to press forward again. We cannot stop. We cannot yield. We must advance and take the ground. The end is in sight, and all we ask is that you stay the course and you continue to send letters that we will provide. This is from Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshiers, Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy, Chief of Heritage Operations Mr. Ron Kennedy. This is, of course, coming from the Telegraph, and it is at this time that I'm going to remind everybody. Now, there might be more letters, different letters. I'm getting a text from him. Let's see here real quick. It's loading. Of course, my Wi-Fi is going to be slow. But yeah, no, good job. Keep fighting. Of course, you see my link across the screen. I'm going to show you what that is in a second for those who do not know. I'm trying to get everything working on my end. There we go. Let's see here. Again, David, that's something that I'm sure the Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief will come on and talk about Thursday. I'm glad that the Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief brought this to my attention. I have not been able to read my email today. And so him bringing that to my attention is really great, and that's a big victory. But again, that doesn't mean we can't stop fighting. And so I'm sure there will be a new link and a new press release that SCV Chat will give out along with the SCV, or not along. We will basically tell y'all what the SCV said. But I'm sure we'll have more instructions soon. Don't not want to put any words in their mouth. They did say that they will be sending us some new stuff in the Telegraph post from today. Until then, I think it's still okay to use the old one, or not the old, but the one-click politics we've been using for the 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief. Your picture is not loading that you sent me, not one bit. But let's see here. While I wait on a response, let me show you again what I'm currently talking about, which is, of course, scvchat.com, or you can use the Telegraph, or you can follow SCV's Facebook social medias. This is just one of the ways that us here at SCV Chat are trying to help out. You can go to this link, go to our news section at scvchat.com. Okay, great, Commander. I just want to double check, make sure I'm not leaving anything out. And you can send by one-click politics the links that the Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief and the Commander-in-Chief and the Chief of Heritage Operations are talking about. Link is in the chat for that. Again, scroll down and you'll see it right here. So at the bottom of the page is the one-click politics for all that. So I want to thank the Commander-in-Chief for bringing that to my attention. That is a major victory that we should talk about on Look Around the Confederation, our SCV Chat. So I'm glad that we were here to do it live. So again, thank everybody that sent in letters, but the fight's not over yet. I'm sure the Commander-in-Chief and Lieutenant will come to us shortly about more information. Stay tuned, stay tight, and be ready to fight. It's not over yet, but again, take a moment, pat yourself on the back, and let's get ready to save our monuments, people. This will be a major victory when it gets done, and it's something we need to take very seriously. It's a fight for our ancestors and the fight for really, it's going to be a major battle in this Cold War we're fighting for our heritage. So without further ado, I'm going to thank you again, Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy, and we are going to get back into the news. I have forgotten my spot. Let's get back to it. Oh, wow. I left that on my camp news. How egotistical is that? Let me pull this back up. The Samuel H. Poe Camp number 255 are having these 30th anniversary challenge coins made for the celebration of the 30th anniversary of my camp. They are $10 each, and you can reach out to our camp commander, Forrest S. Dawes, also known as the historian-chief of the SCV, and the lieutenant commander of the Mississippi Division, SCV. You can also reach out to our adjutant, Harrison Dawes. You can find him also on Facebook. Just type in Harrison, 5th Brigade Councilman, Mississippi SCV, and we will pop up. So if you would like to get some of these challenge coins, please contact me or my father. We're not too hard to reach on Facebook. And of course, we're happy to give out and share the love from our camp, and we very much appreciate the support. All right, let's get into some reenactments. Straits Raid Civil War reenactment sponsored by the Cherokee Battlefield Preservation Corporation will be on October 14th through the 15th in Sartor Bluff, Alabama. Reenactment will be held on the actual surrender site on Saturday, October 14th. The reenactment battle will start at 2 p.m., as well as from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., a reenactment ball. On Sunday, October 15th, at 10 a.m., there will be a reenacting church service, and at 2 p.m., again, another reenactment battle. Settlers, food trucks will be present. Porta potties and water supplies will be available on site. For questions, there's their email, CherokeeBattlefield@hotmail.com. Like us on Facebook as well, they ask. Please go like them on Facebook. All right. Getting to the rest of the news. Let's see here. On November 3rd through the 5th, the Battle of Scarum Creek will be at Crossville, Alabama. They will have infantry, mounted and dismounted cavalry, and artillery are welcome. Period settlers, non-period settlers, food and entertainment, ladies' tea, and much, much more. It will be a $5 reenacting fee, $10 with a meal. You can contact their reenactor contact below, Mr. Booth, at his phone number. Next bit of news. That will come later. I actually have a camp member on to talk about that tonight, so I don't have to. I know you're grinning ear to ear right now behind the scenes. That is amazing. I forgot that was in my lineup for the news. All right. I love it when Kenny's on. Councilman Ramsey is just amazing. All right. Actually, we will be talking about this on an upcoming episode of Look Around, our SCV Chat. The 160th Battle of Chickamauga was this past weekend. SCV Chat's very own co-founder and co-host, Connor Bond, was there. And so I'm going to let him talk about that. Next bit of news on September 30th, it will be the first annual Yellow Hammer Jammer from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Confederate Memorial Park in Marbury, Alabama. Musical performances will be by Mutt Cooper, Allie Knight, Brendan Young, and Unreconstructed. Past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael will be our keynote speaker. Food and drinks are available, games for kids and adults, door prizes, historical presentations, and other activities. Bring your ice cream, freezers, pop-up tents, and lawn chairs. It's going to be a great day in Dixieland. Hot dog eating contest for adults and kids. No administration fee to enter the park, and it will be a good day of family fun. Just going down the list. Let's see here. Spring Hill Cemetery tour will be on September 30th. First tour leaves at 3 p.m. and the last tour leaves at 5 p.m. Costs $10 for anybody, 10 and over. For 10 and under, it is free. Reenactors from multiple time periods will be present, will represent people in the cemetery. All proceedings will go to maintaining the cemetery, which runs on donations alone. Parking is at Perk Pools on Dulux Road and the Walnut Street Stake Park. No parking on the road, please. See here. All right, go. Take a habit, Victor. All right, going through the news. Yep, nope. Cleaning up my stuff for a bit. Florida Confederate Heroes Headstone Dedication Memorial Service will be on October 14th at Homeland Cemetery in Homeland, Florida. The memorial service will begin at 10 a.m. Sponsors are the General Juba Early Camp, 556, and the Mary and Molly Bell OCR Chapter 20. It will be another great event. We're kind of stacked with great events. It's a great day for me here on the show. The Battle of Gilbert's Farm will be on October 21st to the 22nd. Individual rifle, pistol, and company competition. Period in modern campsites. Meals will be provided Saturday evening. There is no registration fee. For more information, please contact the people below. Sounds like another great one. All right. Let's scurry along. All right. The General Forrest 200th Society. This was made a couple years ago to honor General Forrest's 200th birthday, I do believe. And I think he was... when was General Forrest born? I'm having a... July 1821. Can't remember the day. But this was, of course, to celebrate General Forrest's 200th birthday. All proceeds go to maintaining his boyhood home, if I'm not mistaken. Membership is $200, and you can also have a voluntary donation. And it's just cool. It's a cool thing to be a part of. I have, again, yet not been able to do it. But I cannot wait for when I do have the $200. It'll go straight to them. It's a very cool thing. You're helping out General Forrest's boyhood home. What more information do you need about that? Victor told me he was born on July 13th. Okay. Look, I thought it was the 11th. I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. But I was close. Next bit of news, we're going to go back to Mississippi for Beauvoir's fall muster. My post supposed to come up. Still not there. Maybe now. I'm saving. It's not coming up. Huh. There it is. Okay. 37th annual fall muster will be held at beautiful Beauvoir. Beauvoir was the last home of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. Beauvoir is owned and operated by the Beauvoir Corporation, whose members are made up of the Mississippi Division, Sons of Confederate Veterans. Step back in time and experience life in the 1860s. War between the states battles daily. Camp life. Living historians. First-person presentations. Period music by the unreconstructed band. Small musters and other kid activities, the traveling Hunley exhibit, a period dance, settlers and vendors, food and snacks, and a ladies' tea. Make sure to also stop by and visit the tomb of the unknown Confederate soldier. It is going to be fun for the entire family. A total living history experience for the weekend. October 21st to the 22nd. You can visit and get more information at www.visitbeauvoir.org. And, of course, the Beauvoir Facebook page. We're going to be ending the news very shortly, and we'll have our guest on, and they're going to knock it out of the park, and I can't wait to hear what's going on in the Army of Northern Virginia. We're going to wrap it up here with some stuff from the Alabama Division and hop over to Louisiana. Looks like we have Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, in the chat. Good to see you, Mr. Kennedy. Let's see here. Let's get to some more news. All right, the Alabama Educational Conference is going to be held on March 16th, 2024. And they have a new home for the event. You can read all about it here. They have a couple of great speakers. They have our famous Kennedy twins. They have Mr. Dave Benner, Ryan Walters, former guest on SCV Chat, and Tom Daniel. All of this is going to knock it out of the park. It's just like the Stephen Dooley Institute. It's amazing. I want to go. I love learning more about our Southern culture, our heritage, and this will be a great experience for that. Of course, this is the fill-out sheet. Try to get it in by, let's see here, what's their deadline? I don't think I see your deadline on here. Let's see here. If you don't get your stuff in by March 15th, lunch may not be included. All right. I'm pretty sure someone will tell me when the deadline is. But again, it's the Alabama Educational Conference. Great conference. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I cannot wait to try to go to this one in the upcoming year. And of course, learn more about our Confederate heritage people and Southern heritage, really. Real quick, I do want to mention, going back to fall muster, that the Kennedy twins will be at Beauvoir signing books at the gift shop. All proceeds will go to Beauvoir, and I believe y'all are speaking as well. Yes, Dave. You can go type in Harrison SCV, and my SCV Facebook page will pop up. Send me a message on there. For the Alabama Heritage Conference, Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill says March 1st is the deadline, so please have your information in by March 1st. Again, this is going to be a great event. I can't wait for it. Commander Hill's already having to wait for a lot of stuff from me, so I'm going to on purpose wait until not March 1st, probably February, just to mess with them to send my stuff in. I'll probably have the money before then, but Commander Hill and I have a fun relationship. But send your stuff in way before I send my stuff in. I'm going to get a text message for that joke. All right. Speaking of Army of Tennessee, the Army of Tennessee workshop will be on May 4th, 2024 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the conference room at Elm Springs, Columbia, Tennessee. There are only 65 spots available for the workshop due to room size. Register early to guarantee your spot. Registration is $15, which includes lunch. Pre-register by March 15th for lunch. After March 15th, the registration fee will be $20 and no guaranteed for lunch. All divisions are welcome. Speakers include Membership Coordinator Eric Pavetti. He'll be talking about Commander and Adjutant Training. Army of Tennessee Councilman Carl Jones will be talking about building a better camp. Army of Tennessee Commander will be Jimmy Hill will be talking about community involvement and other subjects that are subject to change. This will be going on as well as the annual pilgrimage going on at Elm Springs. You will take a break from the workshop to attend the main event at the pilgrimage, and then you will return to the conference room for lunch and then continuing with the workshop agenda. We also hope to have free tours of the museum or the house as part of registration. How awesome is that? Doesn't that just sound amazing? I feel like Commander Hill is going to accidentally lose my lunch at either the Alabama Educational Conference or the Army of Tennessee workshop. Neither is confirmed yet, though. All right, let's get into the last bit of news and wrap it up for the evening. Camp Moore will have an inaugural Heritage Preservation Day on October 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Live music, $20 per person, includes a plate of lunch and admission to the museum. Reenactors will be on site and artillery will be demonstrated. All proceeds will go to benefit the Camp Moore Museum. Sponsored by the SCV, MC, 1B, the Louisiana OCR, and the Washington Rifles Camp. Another great event for another great historical site. I want to point out that should be considered bullying from the Army of Tennessee commander. He is going to take my lunch away. I'm going to have roasted beans or something. I know it. It's going to happen. All right. let me put this down. All right. Third annual Battle of I almost got through the whole show. Man, we were so close. Daryl Boone Landing? Daryl. I don't see an L in there. I don't know where I'm getting Daryl. No idea where I got Daryl. Huh. Well, y'all can read it. We're just going to continue on like I did not say Daryl. Will be on March 9th through the 10th. Step back in time as a Union troop assaults Confederate defenses to march to Shreveport. Oh, man, I know who sent this in now. Oh, I have 4 people. One's a past commander-in-chief, one's the chief of heritage operations, and one's the current lieutenant commander-in-chief trying to help me out here. Darbone Landing. There we go. Close enough. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. It's a great day. I'm surprised Chuck didn't chime in. The 100th and 20th anniversary of the Louisiana Division and the 160th anniversary of Red River Campaign will be celebrated very soon. The Louisiana Division will have more information shortly. I'm too scared to check the comments because I know what's going to be said. Let's see here. All right. And we're going to get into some personal news. Let's see here. Everybody's saying, well, that'll work. Don't you just love the look around people? Thank y'all. Thank y'all for real. All right. Going into our last bit of news. Let's see here. Past Commander-in-Chief's Chuck McMichael spoke to the Red Diamond Camp in Texarkana, Texas on September 14th. Also in attendance were other Lieutenant General Richard Taylor, 1308 members, past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin Jr., as well as Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman J.C. Hanna, the W.W. Hartstill Camp Commander Bill Elliott was also attending from Marshall, Texas. Looks like a great time. I know if past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael was speaking, it was a great event. And now we have officially closed our news. Now I'm being told I'm going to be fed a weasel at the Army of Tennessee workshop. That's interesting. All right. Now we will have, of course, our guests come on. We're going to hit a quick commercial break real quick and let them come on, talk about all their news. Don't worry about the time. They have all the time in the world. They know this from me to talk about the Army of Northern Virginia. Councilman Ramsey seemed shocked about this. He thought I was just going to steal the whole show from him, I guess. All right, let's I really want to know where you got the skull from. I really want to know. All right, let me get the Pop-Tart break ready. It takes a second, and we will dive right into it. So, tonight's Pop-Tart break is sponsored by the Kennedy Twins' most recent book, Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government. Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government is about how Jefferson Davis was a leader in the high road to emancipation. He looked for a day which slaves would be prepared to live and participate in society. He did more, though, than advocate for this high road to emancipation. He practiced his beliefs in the ultimate emancipation of Southern slaves, and many of his former slaves left for prosperity and the testimony about their former master who prepared them to be self-sustaining members of society. You can get the Kennedy Twins' most recent book, Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government, at www.kennedytwins.com and most online bookstores, including www.scv.org and www.visitbeauvoir.org, both in the gift shop section. I want to thank the Kennedy Twins' most recent book, Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government, for sponsoring tonight's Pop-Tart break. And we will be right back with the Army of Northern Virginia update with Army of Northern Virginia Commander Kevin Stone and Army of Northern Virginia Councilman Kenny Ramsey. And I know they have a great show planned for y'all. And we will be right back after this Pop-Tart break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could... If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Welcome back, and again, we want to thank the Kennedy Twins' newest book, Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government, for sponsoring tonight's Pop-Tart Break. I also want to remind everybody to share this out, especially if you're in the Army of Virginia right now watching. Make sure to share it either on your camp, groups, Facebook page, whatever you can do. And as you can tell, I'm now joined by Army of Northern Virginia Commander Kevin Stone. And, well, I'm not joined by Army of Northern Virginia Councilman Kenny Ramsey. He decided he did not like how long I took to get to him, and he was going to leave. I'm joking, of course. I know Councilman Ramsey will be back on as soon as he can. Until the meantime, I was about to make a joke about how Commander Stone has so many titles. If I tried to talk about him, it would take me the rest of the night. But, you know, luckily, I don't have to cite all your titles right now, sir. We do have Councilman Kenny Ramsey back. We lost you there for a minute.
Can you hear us, Kenny?
Councilman?
I'm thinking he's having technical difficulties.
Oh, it's time to look at my phone. Yep, I just got a text message from Councilman Ramsey. Let's see what he said. He has no sound. Let me see if there's anything I can do. I don't know if there is. I think I can edit your mic settings. Can you hear us now? Now I'm having technical difficulties. All right. Am I still live? I tried to answer his message, and well, there he goes. How about now, Councilman? Nothing? Huh. Is because your mic was working a bit beforehand. Send me a picture of your computer. The funny thing is he passed all the pre-show tests we have. That's what's amazing about this. He passed every single one. I'll put this up. Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy says, look on the bright side, Councilman. You can cuss and no one hears you, and you won't get me in trouble with anybody. Yeah, well, you can hear us on YouTube, but we can't hear you. It's that Yankee internet. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's see if I can go to B with the councilman. All right. I wonder if he has any idea how to do what I just asked him, bless his heart. We've never had to do this with Councilman Ramsey. Well, I don't know if you had anything to talk about tonight, Commander Stone, but if you do, I think now would be a good time. You're not going to be interrupted.
Well, Kenny had the lion's share of things to talk about tonight, but I've got a couple things. One is the North Carolina State Fair is coming up beginning Thursday, October the 12th, and going through October the 22nd. And the North Carolina Division has had a booth there since the 90s, and we'll have a booth there again. We'd love to have anybody that plans to come to the fair to stop by and visit our booth. And oh, I think I hear Kenny.
Okay, I logged in with
He's alive.
my phone.
Gotcha. So anybody that wants to swing by to see the North Carolina Division booth, we'd love to have you. Our presence has been there for years, and it's a wonderful opportunity to network with the public. And it always rejuvenates me whenever I work it, because you see all the supporters out there in the public, and the media portrays it as though, you know, we're some small minority and nobody likes us, but it's actually quite the opposite. Very little negativity and much support from the general public. We used to pass out stickers, which was the hottest sticker going at the fair. But now, due to the left-leaning government organization, they banned stickers. So we had buttons made, and now people get buttons. Move, there you go. So there's the button. So we did a outflanking maneuver, and the buttons have been very popular. So you'll see a wave of those on spectators all across the fairgrounds. So I encourage you, if you're anywhere nearby, October 12th through the 22nd, swing by and visit the SCV booth at the North Carolina State Fair in Raleigh. And today I got an email from Dr. Marcus Cook of the Brigadier General W.W. Kirkland Camp 1692 in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And they've got a fall series about Confederate Masons. They've got a meeting Thursday, September the 28th, and the topic is going to be Captain Robert Bingham, leader of the North Carolina Masons, warrior and educator. And the speaker will be Commander Chad Martin of the W.W. Kirkland Camp. Then next month's meeting is going to be Brigadier General Albert Pike, leader of American Masons, writer, frontiersman, and defender of Native American rights. And it's also going to be Chad Martin as the speaker on this. And sounds like a very interesting series, and will teach you about the Masonic Brotherhood that was involved across the United States and in the Confederate States, with Albert Pike being the national leader of the Masons. If you're interested and want to hear this, a lot of times they will Facebook Live. Moose is gone. Are we still up, Kenny?
I'm still up.
Yeah.
I see you.
Well, I'll keep talking. 919-968-9848 is Dr. Cook's phone number if you'd like to contact him to either visit their camp or find out if you can get online and watch these presentations online. I'll repeat that number, 919-968-9848, Dr. Marcus Cook. And that's all I've got. I'll turn it over to you, Kenny.
Well, I'll give it a shot. I will start out if Moose can cooperate. I did reach out to a few of the division commanders in the ANV, and Commander Terry Clymer from Maryland sent quite a bit of information. I'll start out with a little bit that they're doing. They are currently, and have been since 2017, trying to obtain the monuments that were illegally taken down in Baltimore. Those monuments are not on display anywhere. They are fighting for the monuments. They currently have a historical park, Confederate Memorial Park. It's a 7-acre park, a perfect place they could put them that is in the same general area. And it's highly supported by quite a few people. But all three of those monuments are still in limbo. The divisions brought lawsuits on it and are making progress. But I won't get into all the details because I'm a pretty slow reader. They do have a layout of where the park is at. It's near Point Lookout State Park. And there's there's everything is in that area. There's a VA cemetery there. Quite a few different things right in that same proposed area. So also, actually he's got it up there. There's the location of the site with all the flags and everything that they've already got established. And there you go. There is the map of the area, or the aerial view. And you can see the Point Lookout State Park is right near there, just off the Potomac River, near Baltimore. The Federal Confederate Monument is there, and the VA Cemetery, all right around. And everything is close by, and they've got it laid out where they would like to put those monuments when they get them. Notice I said when. Also, they are actively supporting the Reconciliation Monument at Arlington, and they have always supported it in many ways, even prior to the current controversy. Their honor guard has many years presented the colors at the annual commemoration sponsored by the UDC. So they've always had an active part, but are especially interested in the effort to save that monument. Now, they've got a few upcoming events also. Excuse me. They recently had the annual ceremony, the Major General Isaac Ridgeway Trimble Camp, 1836, recently, last Saturday, had their ceremony to commemorate the Howard County's men in gray during the War of Southern Independence. That was their annual salute, but I understand that went off very well. Next, they have the annual Point Lookout Memorial Service. That is upcoming. It'll be October 14th at 11 a.m. at the Confederate Memorial Park, Point Lookout Road, 11655 Point Lookout Road in Scotland, Maryland. And that one is, excuse me again, that one is jointly sponsored by the Captain Vincent Camalier, SCV Camp 1359, and Confederate Memorial Park Incorporated, and the descendants of Point Lookout prisoners of war. Now, the Maryland Division has their fall meeting coming up, fall division meeting. I'm sure they don't mind visitors. That one is Saturday, November 4th from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Annapolis. Now, of always a big interest, they are having their 2024 division convention. That is Saturday, April 20th of next year, and hosted by the Captain James Waddell Camp FOP Lodge number 69, Ellicott, Maryland. And also, one other thing they've got going is the Confederate naval officers' unmarked grave will soon be marked and dedicated in the spring of 24. They've already installed the grave marker, and they will have the ceremony coming up in the spring. And we want to also pass the word that the Maryland Division Color Guard serves as the division's goodwill ambassadors. They support in ceremonies. They appear in a lot of parades, increase public awareness of the organization. Maryland Division, next one. Maryland Division maintains grave sites on Confederate Hill, Loudon Park Cemetery. And they have also had numerous Confederate Cross of Honor dedications, such as the 2023 event honoring Harry M. Richardson, Private, 2nd Maryland Light Artillery. There have been numerous exhibitions at Maryland County fairs. Many camps in Maryland also participate in the Adopt a Road program, doing community service while increasing public awareness of the SCV. And they do have the Adopt a Road signs that have Sons of Confederate Veterans on the lower part. Now, I think that pretty much covers Maryland. We might have got off a little bit on the slides, but we are doing good. And I want to thank Commander Terry Climler for sending me all that information. There's our Adopt a Road sign. There we go.
In my defense, my audio decided that it was going to die on me for a second.
Okay.
And I could not hear where you were.
Okay. Well, I'll start waving when it's time to change. But I think that pretty much covers Maryland. They did a great job of getting that stuff to me. Also, next, I want to cover something I brought up last month, but a little more detail. Warsaw, North Carolina. They allow SCV to do whatever we want. Any Confederate group can be in their annual Veterans Day parade and Veterans Celebration. This year, that is November 4th. That's actually a week before the real Veterans Day. But the Warsaw Veterans Day parade, they are very proud of the fact that they are the oldest consecutive Veterans Day celebration in the country. And it first began on Armistice Day, 1921. And they have not missed a celebration or a parade in all these years, even through the World War II, everything else that's gone on. They have continually had that parade. And they do welcome us in their parade every year. So if you want to see a really great representation of all the veteran services, including Confederate, that would be the one to go to. While we're on parades, the town of Atkinson, which is a small town in Pender County, but they have a large Christmas parade. That's coming up on December 2nd. Town of Atkinson, it's going right through the middle of town at 11 o'clock. They also welcome Confederate flags, units, SCV, everything. They're going to have many vendors there, and also they're having a car show at the same time. And my camp participates in that, as well as one other camp in my county. We're welcome there quite a bit. Okay, now I'll move on over to Virginia. Let me see here. I wanted to let you know that the Stonewall Brigade Camp 1296 in Lexington is continually working on its Lee Jackson Memorial Park that was dedicated in May. Constant improvements are being made on the site, and they are closing on several more acres to add to that park. And their commander, Tony Griffin, also wanted me to let you know that the Virginia Division is continuing to monitor the situation with the Reconciliation Monument in Arlington, as well as the lawsuit that is concerning with General A.P. Hill's statue or / tombstone. I'm going to jump back into North Carolina. I don't know if I was kind of blanked out there for Kevin. I don't know if he covered this or not. If so, we'll duplicate. Major Charles Q. Petty Camp 872 in Gastonia, North Carolina. On the 30th of September, Saturday, this coming Saturday, 11 to 4, they are having Southern Heritage Family Day. It's on the grounds of the VFW Post 9337 on Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. They're having all types of partying, history lessons. They got bingo going on. They got a free cakewalk. They're going to have popcorn, cotton candy, and some sort of rides for kids. I'm not sure exactly what, but they have really been advertising that around the state. Also, again, this is from Virginia. I don't know if it's been covered, but I'll try it. They are advertising the first ever Virginia 9th Brigade picnic potluck. Everyone is invited. It'll be at the historic White Oak Primitive Baptist Church. And let's see here. I don't technically see an address on it here, but it's in here somewhere. The Gordonville Grays will be in part of it. Commander David Carpenter will have all sorts of stories on the White Oak Baptist Church, and that will be coming up on, darn, this is really hard to read. There we go. That church is at 8 Cason Road, Fredericksburg, Virginia. And it is October 14th at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. All right. Going through quick notes here. Let's see. The Charles Frederick Hargett Camp 706 in North Carolina. They just had a small service where they put 2 new VA headstones in the Cedar Grove Cemetery on unmarked graves. They were for Captain Oliver S. Dewey of the Confederate Quartermaster Corps, and also a headstone for Assistant Paymaster William A. Hearn of the Confederate States Navy. And they have also ordered multiple other headstones that will be installed somewhere after Thanksgiving. Now, we will get into something more personal, as we've already had a slight glimpse of. My camp, Captain David Williams, Holly Shelter Volunteers, Camp 2267, will be having our 4th annual turkey shoot on Saturday, November 18th. That's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, from 5 to 9 p.m. And we will also be having it the Saturday before Christmas, which is not on this particular flyer. The location is 840 Murraytown Road in Burgon. We have kept our fee to shoot at $5. Aside from the good old-fashioned turkey shoot, we got fire pits. We got it's very well lit. We will be serving this year chicken and dumplings. We've got plenty of soft drinks. We have popcorn free for anybody that wants it. We do the frozen turkeys, but about every 5th shoot we throw in a ham. We can't do many because we don't make much on the hams, but we do try to keep that whole tradition alive. This is done in the old Southern style tradition, and it ends up being a huge, huge gathering of good old country folk. So anybody in Eastern North Carolina that feels like driving over here, come on out. Yeah, that just about wraps up everything I've got on the scheduling.
Excellent job, Kenny.
Thank you.
Good job, Councilman. I don't know if you covered again. My audio is a little shaky tonight for some reason, but I have two or three pictures left. Two from the Virginia Division and one from I'm not sure.
I thought you'd already covered them because I was blanked out for a while. Yeah, the Virginia Division. Let me go back and find my notes. They had a booth at the State Fair. That one, which is ongoing up until this Sunday. And that is their booth. They've been manning it. The way I understand is different camps take turn manning the booth. But that has been going on all week, and it will continue through the end of the month. I think it ends on the 1st. This right here is the Hanover Dragoons Camp 827 on their time when they were manning the State Fair booth. So they do have a very successful booth, and I congratulate them on that. Anybody that can make the Virginia State Fair, get on by there this weekend. And thank you, Harrison. Okay.
All right. I think we're good, Councilman, Commander.
Yep.
We want to thank everybody for watching. We're going to be going into the wrap up of the show now. Let's see here if I can pull up a comment. And I want to pull up one from our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, Walter D. Donnie Kennedy. It says, it sounds like the Army of Northern Virginia has a lot going on. Good work, men. That's what I thought. I mean, golly, y'all have a lot of great events going on, a lot of great people working. I want to thank everybody that sent some stuff in. Sounds like y'all have a lot of awesome events y'all are going to be attending. I'm jealous. I wish I could somehow live in Mississippi, but costs the same amount of money to be able to go to these events across the Confederation. That is one bad part. When I have y'all on, is I feel like y'all are rubbing in my eye events I'm not going to be able to attend because I'm so far away. But I'm definitely glad to hear about all the great things going on in the Army of Northern Virginia. If you're in the Army of Northern Virginia, Army of Tennessee, or even the Army of Trans-Mississippi, share this episode out. Let's help our brothers out in the Army of Northern Virginia. Let's get this news out there, and let's have a lovely communion of a Southern brotherhood. That got me. All right. Man, I love dogs. I live on a dog farm, and then you got Kenny. That's what he's been doing the whole show behind the scenes, just to let y'all know if I ever stopped and cracked up, that was the reason why. All right. Let's wrap it up. Make sure to share this episode out again and tune in Monday for SCV Chat at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time, same Confederate channel. We'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, scvchat.com, and Rumble. All the places that I've mentioned, we're easy to find. Just type in SCV Chat. Of course, our website is www.scvchat.com. All videos are live. Our live videos are there. We have archived some of our favorite episodes. We have a full library, though, on Facebook and YouTube. Working on getting it on Rumble. One day soon, hopefully the website as well. Make sure to send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you will be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation, where we cover camp, division, and Army news. We had a great show tonight, gentlemen. Thank you to the Army of Northern Virginia Commander, Kevin Stone. Thank you to the Army of Tennessee Councilman, Kenny Ramsey. thank you, gentlemen. I cannot wait to see you guys next month, hopefully. And I cannot wait to see your dogs again, Commander Stone. Until next time.
That was only 2 of them. And Kenny is my Army of Northern Virginia councilman.
What did I say?
You said Tennessee.
Well, that's what I get. I have to hang around Carl, so I blame Carl. Army of Northern Virginia councilman Kenny Ramsey. You see what happens when you get stuck in an army too long. It comes out. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Again, big shout out to all the divisions in the Army of Northern Virginia who supplied us from news tonight, and all the ones that even didn't supply news but are doing a lot of great things. Again, bravo to the Virginia Division for being definitely jealous. So congratulations to y'all. See y'all Monday. Don't think we have anything planned, but remember, next Thursday is Commander's Comments. We'll have the Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshears, Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy on to give an update about the National SCV and probably, more than likely, Arlington Monument, because we were talking about that earlier tonight. So make sure to tune in for that. Tune in Monday and share this episode. And remember, my friends, to stay Southern. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Moose.